Hello guys, this is Doran's Movies, and welcome to the World of Warcraft lore Q&A number 69. The question for today's video is by Wayne, and he asks, I have a question about the legendary weapons. If players are going to get them, I'm thinking how can they get them, as the only way is if the owner dies. For example, the Lich King, who died. Does that mean that Troll will die as well? Okay, so I've gotten this question quite a bit since the announcement of Legion, and it is something I've been wondering quite a bit recently, as this new artifact thing, the artifact system, will definitely affect the lore big time and possibly even kill off some characters. So far we have learned about a few different artifacts, but we don't really have the information on a few classes, as most of these are just going to be speculations, and if you're watching this like after BlizzCon or at the expansion release, you probably already know this information. Now, at the moment, the information that we have is pretty straightforward, such as the Shards of Frostmourne. I mean, we did kill Arthas, so we know that he doesn't have the swords. We also know that we'll get the Ashbringer and the Doomhammer, which are these huge lore weapons. But the issue is that the two characters wielding those are still alive. Because of this, everyone is wondering what will happen to Troll and Tyrion. Will they just get killed off, or will they just give the weapons to us willingly? Now, I personally have a few different theories, and I can really see both happening. It is very much possible, if done right, that the characters have like served their time and now they're just going to give their weapons to us, as we are the new heroes and the future of Azeroth, and like we'll protect the world. Sort of like something that happened with the aspects on how like the mortals will now protect the world, and now we're gonna be like those new mortals. Now, another also a bit of a darker theory, which I think is highly possible, is that most of these characters will die. And if you're thinking, Blizzard can't just kill off these main characters that have been in the lore since like forever, I just think that you haven't really been following the hints. I mean, they did say that this invasion will be the biggest one yet, and if that is not just a marketing trick, which it could possibly be, it could mean that a lot of characters will die off, as the first Burning Legion invasion was huge and there were a lot of casualties of either minor and bigger characters. Second hint is that actual announcement. We still don't have all the information, but they did mention a battle at the Broken Shore, which I'm guessing is the initial Horde and Alliance invasion on the Broken Isles, when they hear about the Burning Legion invasion, so they sent all their forces to there, and how this entire thing will shock everyone. So what I think will happen is that all the big Horde and Alliance characters will go there, and something completely unexpected will happen, possibly a summoned Avatar of Sargeras, a big explosion, or this insane swarm of the Burning Legion, or something along those lines, and that many characters will die, and we as the players will kinda take the lead from there. I personally don't think all the characters will die, like Troll for example. I mean, we have Chris Metzen and Troll, their entire relation. Also, he has two kids at this point, and they're very young. We don't even know if the second one is even born. So their entire development wouldn't really make sense. It would be kind of pointless, because those kids can't like take the lead or just become like small trolls. Yes, if that makes sense, because they aren't really going to do anything for at least 10 or 15 years. But characters like Tyrion and Varian, I think they're very likely to die off, and before anyone freaks out if you're like a fanboy of those characters, let me just kinda explain the hints that I've seen. First is Tyrion. I mean, he is old, he doesn't exactly have a family, his role was fulfilled in Wrath of the Lich King, and he had like this giant role, and he really hasn't done anything ever since. We know he has been in the Plaguelands, like healing the lands, but he hasn't really done much himself. At the moment, he's kinda the big main paladin, but they did say that Turelian is returning, so he could possibly take his place on Azeroth in a way. So on Tyrion, I think it is very likely that he will get killed off. Second is Varian, and there are just so many different hints that I'll try to kinda narrow down in this video. First are the books. Through the past 5-6 years that they have been writing these books, like the Wolfheart or the Shattering, they have been developing Anduin as a young ruler who will lead the armies of light against the dark, as Valen said. Also, Anduin has kinda changed Varian. Before, Varian was like this harsh, strict, no mercy ruler, and now he's more of like Jaina from Warcraft 3, very diplomatic, very peaceful, I guess. And the hint they dropped recently is that Anduin will learn the true price of peace, and that it isn't as easy as it seems. So what I kinda understood from that, what I kinda picked up from that, is that Anduin kinda made Varian softer than he was, which is going to lead to the death of Varian. Also, they did update the model of Anduin, so he now kinda looks more like a young man at the moment than when he looked like a child, so that could also be kind of a big hint. And the last hint is that Varian wields Shalamain, which is this legendary sword, which could possibly be a warrior artifact. So these are kind of the few hints we have been getting recently, and I think this will kind of give Blizzard the perfect opportunity to kill off some major characters and possibly either introduce new ones or make the players a bit more involved in the lore, which they're kind of doing with the artifact system. From the lore perspective, I think it is a really bad idea. I'm not really liking the entire artifact system, but from the game perspective, I think it could possibly bring in a bit more immersion and kind of make the game a lot more interesting. Alright, that is all here for this video. Now I hope that answered your question, and hopefully we'll get more information on BlizzCon, as they did say that we're going to get something exciting. Also on the expansion release we'll probably get some information, so don't take this really for granted, as these characters could possibly die, they might just lose fate. These are just my speculations and I don't really know any of this for sure. Also don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, as it really helps out and keeps all the videos going. And thanks a lot for taking your time out of your day to watch this video, and see you next time.